Hello, everybody, and welcome to Roll by Rolls. I am your Dungeon Master, Richard Barlow, and today I am joined by another one of our adventurers for their character's one-shot prologue character introduction. So today I am joined by Nina Nessa, and so I'm just going to pass it over to her, and she can tell us about her character. Nina, take it away.
Sure. Well, my name is Rune, and looking at me, you can see clearly that I am a gnome. And as a gnome, I am small and gnomish. I am wearing what probably at one time was a decently nice dress, but at this point it's been washed and worn so many times that it's gotten this sort of gray tinge to it that will never really go away. And tied to my waist, I have a deer antler. Talking to me, you would notice right off the bat that other than looking perfectly normally gnomish, I do have a pretty brutal scar right across my face. So like crossing one cheek right over the bridge of my nose, across the other cheek. And another smaller scar that's kind of tucked away on my throat. I think that's all you really need to know about what I look like.
Cool, perfect. All right. So where we meet you, you have head into the Forest of Rowstone to find Gregon's cabin. If you look at the map, this map doesn't, it's not to scale. It's this from very south to very north of it would take you almost like a week and a half to travel that. And these paths are very small. They're not actually like dirt roads or anything like that. They're just walking paths that have been trampled down by creatures of the forest or other people who have just kind of made their own path through. It's a very, very dense forest. The water on either sides, it kind of drops off. So like either side of this forest is almost a cliff edge, except for the parts where you see almost like a beach-like area that goes downhill. So you can actually be at like the shoreline. But other than that, if you walk too far, you're going to drop off a cliff and go down.
Great.
So if you look to the very west of the map, kind of lower, like still pretty south, you'll see the little cabin there. Mm-hmm. So you head that way, and you have been told that this is the only cabin in Rowstone. So when you see this cabin, you know you have gone to Gregon's place. So you approach it from the south on the path. So I'll just leave it to you now. How do you want to approach it? What do you want to do now that you see the cabin?
So I'm seeing the cabin. What's the tree cover like around the cabin?
It's a little less dense than the rest of the forest, but it's still fairly dense and covered by trees. It looks like he probably cleared a little area for this cabin, probably the wood that he built the cabin with. But I mean, these are big trees, so he didn't spend that much time like clearing out an entire area. It's just like 10 feet clearance on each side of the cabin before the dense wood starts again. And very small cabin. There's not like, it looks like there couldn't be multiple rooms. Like it would be a one-room cabin. There is smoke coming out of the little chimney on top.
Okay. Before I approach, can I do a quick perception check just to see if there are any protections around this cabin or anything that I should be aware of?
Yeah, for sure. Go ahead and roll.
That would be a 15.
A 15? It doesn't look like there's too much around. Like he has like one window at the front of the cabin, and like I said, it's not a big cabin, so probably at most times he can see almost anything approaching from that side. Other than that, its back is pretty close to the cliff, to the water, so he's not worried about things coming that way, but it doesn't look like he's set up much security or anything like that.
And other than knowing that I'm here to see Gregon, Do I know anything about Gregon?
You don't know much. If you want, you can roll an investigation, maybe, to see if prior to this, if you did any of your own investigating and found anything that you could about that name, or if you just kind of head out.
Sure. That'll be a 8.
An 8? Okay, so we'll say all you know about him is he is a pretty older gentleman. Definitely past his prime. And that he is not from this area, that he moved to the Forest of Rowstone from somewhere pretty far away. But I'll say that's all with an 8, all you found out about him.
All right.
Well, no, you can know that he worked for a king at one point, too.
Gregon is old and he worked for a king. That is not helpful to me at all. Thanks. I say to the air. Great, thanks, awesome, cool, okay. You know what? I am not even going to bother approaching stealthily. I'm actually going to go right up to the door and I'm going to knock on it.
Sure. All right. So you go and knock, and you just hear a voice from within just say, "Come in."
Okay, so I'm going to open the door slowly. I'm assuming it's unlocked if he's just welcoming me in.
Yeah, totally.
And I'm not going to fully go in, but I am going to just sort of poke my head into the door and sort of be like, hello?
Okay, so...
What do I see?
You see, this is the simplest of cabins. Like, this guy is purely... Even though he has, like, a roof over his head, he's just living off the land, clearly. There is the tiniest, what you can barely even call a bed, a little table, and then some cooking instruments around a fireplace that sits. So the bed is like, when you turn in, like you look in, you turn left, there's this little tiny bed. Kind of right in front of the door is the table, and to the right is a fireplace with kind of what you could maybe call a kitchenette, but like it's really just cooking utensils with a fireplace, and that's about it. This is the most boring place you've ever seen in your life. And when you look over to the right, you look at the fireplace, you see Gregon standing there with one arm kind of on the mantle of the fireplace, just looking into the fire, doesn't even like acknowledge that you've come in, doesn't turn his head or anything, he just is looking just straight at the fire. And you hear him, he says to you, "You've come here to kill me, haven't you?"
You know, I was going to go for, a little bit of pretense. I was going to, be a lost person in the woods and have you be, feel a little bit better about yourself, like you were maybe helping someone in need, but I guess so much for that. Cool, no pretenses. Yeah, yes, absolutely. I am here to kill you.
So you see this, like, again, doesn't really faze him at all. He kind of looks... If anything, there's, like, disappointment. And he just, like, slowly nods his head, takes a deep breath in, and just says, "I knew this day was coming." And he turns, as he's turning, he, like, the hand that was on the mantle goes down, grabs his short sword that was just kind of leaning up against it. He turns around. He doesn't turn around threateningly, like you don't feel like he's about to lunge at you or anything like that. Like he just has his sword in his hand. He slowly kind of raises it, knowing that what you're here for, so he's kind of getting himself ready. And he just says to you, "Before we do this, can I at least have the pleasure of knowing which one of your loved ones died by my hand?
No one.
No one. I didn't kill anyone in your family. I didn't order anyone to kill anyone in your family?
No.
Huh. Well, I saw this going differently in my head, but, again, I knew I'd pay one day, so let's do this.
You know what? Hold up a second. Just 1 second.
Okay.
Okay. Interesting. I'm still going to kill you. But I'd like to know why I'm killing you. So you kill people, okay. I kill people. Tell me a bit about yourself, Gregon.
You don't know anything about me, and yet you're here to kill me.
That's not fair. I know that you are old, and I know that you worked for a king.
Well, I mean, you look at me and you know I'm old. I'm not going to give you much credit for that.
I just mean I knew it before I came here.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I worked for the king. I slayed a lot of men that he ordered me to kill. I was his captain. I don't feel good about it. And I left a lot of people alive whose loved ones I killed. So I just knew one day someone would be getting revenge. Someone would be looking for me. I've accepted it. I'm ready for it. I just figured that's who you were. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed that at least someone was getting the justice that they felt they deserved. But you're obviously here for some reason, so...
You don't get to know why I'm here.
Alright, well, like I said, I've been ready for this day for many years. To be honest with you, I thought it was coming sooner. But I've made my peace.
You're not going to fight me?
Oh, I'm gonna fight you.
Okay, good. Good. I was worried here for a second that you were just going to let me...
No, I'm not the kind of person that can just go down without a fight.
Okay.
If you're here to kill me, I want to make sure you're the right one to kill me.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
I didn't pick up my sword just to say hello.
I guess not. All right, old man. Do you want to do this?
Let's do it. Okay, so this is a very formal battle, so we'll just roll initiative to see who's gonna do it. Let's see. Oh, he rolled a nat 20.
I rolled a 5.
Okay, so he's gonna go first.
Okay.
We'll say because his nat 20, I mean, it's been a long time since he fought, but he fought for many years, so when it's time for a fight, I don't even need to write down this battle order. I was about to write it down. There's 2 of us. So, where did I put his stuff? Here it is. Okay, so yeah, he has his short sword drawn.
Okay.
You were the one to say let's do this, so he is just, as soon as you said that, he's gonna take a swing at you with his short sword. He does not hit, though. You were both ready for this battle, so he was maybe a little too ready, struck a little soon, and you were fully prepared.
Feeling a little rusty?
It's been a while, but... give me a bit. This is gonna get real good.
Okay, well, then I'm just going to hit him with an Eldritch Blast.
Okay.
At close quarters.
Alright. Remind me, is that me rolling or you rolling?
That would be me.
Okay.
Alright, so that is a 14 to hit.
That hits.
Alright. And that'll be 6 damage.
6 damage, alright. So, he takes a swing at you, you back up, because he was just a little too eager about it and made it a little obvious what he was doing. As you back up, you throw out your hand, blast him with Eldritch Blast, and sends him flying, not into the fire, but right beside it, smashes his back against the wall of his cabin, and he's hurt. He's not totally down for the count, but he felt that for sure. So when he kind of comes back out, kind of shakes it off and stretches. He's an old man. He's not feeling as limber as he once did, and he was like, "Oh, magic."
Oh, is there arthritis acting up?
A little bit.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great, but that was good. Brings me back. All right. So then he again is just gonna take a few steps forward to you and go at you with his short sword again.
Okay.
Oh no! What is it?
You want to take that? That is a 6.
All right. Well, he doesn't hit. He he again is just not in his prime.
Bringing a little high.
And he's also, he's not as quick as he used to be. So when he charges at you, it's not an instant, you can't stop it kind of shot. He comes at you slow as an old man and swings down his sword. Kind of might take him a little while now to bring up the sword before he can swing it down. So you again pretty easily just step back.
All right. You know what? I can even the playing field a little bit. I take out my hand axe and I give it a big old swing because it is pretty heavy for me. Okay, and that's going to be a 13 to hit.
That hits.
All right. And that's only 2 damage.
Only 2 damage. All right. So he does see you bring out that axe, and because a gnome bringing out an axe is noticeable. So you take a swing. He kind of dodges out of the way, but again, he's an old man. He's slow, so he doesn't fully get out of the way. So your axe still lands just kind of on top of the thigh. All right. He just kind of, as he does that, he looks down. You see a smile come across his face, and he says, "This is what I'm used to." And then he's gonna jam at you again with his short sword. I just threw that into my dice. He hits you for 5 points of damage.
Okay.
Alright. So he finally manages, now that the battles have been going on, he's feeling a little more limber, he's loosened up. His memories are coming back of how he used to fight. So he manages to step forward and get you right across the belly. So he slashes at you and gets you for 5 points.
You know what? This is why I don't like playing fair. Okay, I'm going to use my movement to make a bit more space between me and him.
Okay.
As much as I can within this cabin. And I'm going to hit him with another Eldritch Blast.
Okay, cool.
And that is going to be... That's going to be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, and... that was gone. I'm going to do it over here. And that's going to be 5 damage.
5 damage? Alright. Okay, so by this point, you have kind of made it to the bedside of the cabin where you guys were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
So now, in this time, you've backed up kind of beside or in front of the fireplace and across his barely what you could call a kitchen table. You blast him, sends him flying again into the other wall. This time, as he hits the wall, he goes down. He's looking pretty hurt at this point. He just kind of puts his head down. He's tired. He hasn't done this in a while. He's feeling weak, feeling hurt, but he still has this almost satisfied look on his face. So he just kind of smiles, shakes his head, kind of upset with himself that He thought he'd do a little better than this. He slowly picks himself up again. You can see it's hurting, whether it's how much you've hit him or just his old bones. It's taken him a bit to get up. So he is gonna again slowly walk towards you with his sword in hand, and he just kind of, as he's coming towards you, he's just nodding his head and smiling at you and being like, "You're good, kid. You're pretty good at this." And then he's gonna take another swing at you with his short sword. And he hits.
Okay.
He hits for 4 points.
Okay, great. I love having no hit points almost.
Alright, so now that he's like feeling like how he did back in the day, he manages to get a good stride going, gets his short sword right through your shoulder. Now it is up to you.
As a reaction to taking this damage, I am going to cast Hellish Rebuke.
Okay.
So, if you're not familiar, I'm taking my hand and I'm pointing right at him, and he has to make a dexterity saving throw. If he fails,
Okay.
he's going to take some fire damage from me.
Okay. What does he have to roll?
He has to beat a 12.
D12 for dexterity. Okay. He does.
Oh, shit. Okay.
And that was just a reaction, right? That's not like
That's a reaction.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So now what would you like to do?
I'm going to hit him with another Eldritch Blast.
Okay, cool.
And that's a 14 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. And that's just 2 damage.
2 damage. Ooh. He flies back again.
And I'm going to create as much space between him and myself as I can at this point.
Okay. He is just looking horrible. He is now you can tell it's not just his old bones. It is you doing damage to him. He can barely move. He's so much at the point that like getting up is a struggle. It would use, like, he's prone, he's been hit down by your blast. Okay. It's not going to use half movement to get up. He's going to use his entire movement to get up because it is going to take him so long. He's still oddly, though, you just get the sense that this is what he wants.
I say to him, just take this as a mercy. Just stay down.
Roll a persuasion check on that.
So, persuasion, that would be a 20, not nat.
Okay, so you tell him to stay down as he's trying to get back up. And he just kind of looks at you, and his smile just kind of turns to like a look of respect and understanding. And without saying anything, he just nods his head, puts his sword down, and he just half gets up and just stays on his knees and just kind of gives you a look of, all right, you won.
Okay. He's on his knees right now?
Yeah. He's almost like his hands aren't behind his back, but it's like when like an executioner lines people up on their knees.
I was thinking
that's how he is, and he just kind of looks at you like, do your worst, sort of.
Yeah. So I come up to him. I make a point of standing in front of him rather than behind.
Okay.
And I take my hand axe. And I am looking him dead in the face and I say, I take no pleasure in this. And I go to basically cut his throat with my hand axe.
Okay.
With a hack it.
Will you allow him any last words, or are you just gonna do it to get it done?
I will allow him the last word.
Okay. So you raise your axe up and pause, and he just looks at you and says, "If ever you hear my name, tell them I'm sorry."
You don't get to say sorry. And I'm gonna go for it.
Yeah.
Okay, and that will be that is a 16 to hit.
That hits.
What do I need to cut his?
You don't have to roll. You get
got
it. What? Just to know how bad this was.
Okay.
What did you roll for damage? Or if you have it, then you can roll. A 4? Okay, cool. Yeah, you take his head clean off.
Ugh.
And his body kind of stays sitting up for the shortest little bit, and then flumps forward onto the ground.
Nope, 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 nope. I don't like that. Okay. Okay, and I'm just getting my bearings. Kind of taking in headless guy here. Is there anything on Gregon or in his cabin that is of interest to me? And I'm specifically looking for anything that might have healing properties, like a potion or a healer's kit, but I will look for anything that's loot as well.
You can roll and see what you get.
Okay. That's just a straight investigation roll?
Yeah.
A nat 1!
A nat 1. So you see his short sword sitting there, and that's about all you can see.
Well, I'll take his short sword, because maybe I can sell it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. So you get that.
I really don't want to stay here, but I think I need to take a rest because I have 1 HP. Do I have anywhere that I need to go fast right now?
Not that you know of.
Okay, well, I'm going to... What time of day is it?
This was pretty early. I'd say like 10:30, 11 a.m.-ish, like that kind of
All right.
time.
Cool. All right, cool. Cool. I'm going to take a nice midday long rest then.
Sure. Okay, so you take a long rest. Are you napping? Are you just sitting?
I think I'm just going to be sitting, reflecting on
what just
occurred.
Okay. So you sit and there's nothing interrupts you or anything, so you get that long rest. After the long rest, if you want, now that you've come down a bit, you've had time to breathe and process, if you want to do another investigation or see if now that you're not so distracted by this head that just flumped on the floor, you can see if you can find anything now.
Yeah, you know what? I think I've been next to this body long enough to have numbed myself against its presence, so I will do a renewed investigation, and that one's a lot better. Okay. So that will be a 22.
22? Okay, cool. So you find, again, there's not much in this cabin. He's lived a very basic life here.
I mean, he has to have something.
Not surrounded by riches or anything. You see on one side of the fireplace some old food, maybe stuff that he was looking to cook tonight, sort of thing. It's not cooked yet, so taking it probably wouldn't be much use to you unless you want to make a fire at some point, or if you stay here to eat it or whatever. On the other side, you see on a table, or like more of a stool more than a table, there are some plants, and if you want to roll like a
nature
check, and we'll see if you can recognize what these plants are.
That would be a 7.
A 7?
Yeah.
So you're not sure exactly what they are, but you can, with your better investigation check, beside these plants, although you're not sure what they are, you do see like a couple of like bloody cloths and stuff like that. So it looks like maybe this was a spot where like if he was hurt, he would kind of come here to patch himself up and help himself or someone else, or like you don't know whose blood that is on the cloths, but like this kind of looks like his little nursing corner.
All right. Okay, cool. I'm going to take these plants just on the basis of assuming that eventually I'll figure out what they're for and I can maybe make a sweet poultice for it if I need it at some point. I'm okay now. I've rested up. I'm not so worse for wear now.
Cool. So you grab those. As you're grabbing them, the fire, which you haven't tended to, so it's getting lower, all of a sudden is huge, taking up almost the whole fireplace. You turn to look at the fire, and then from the ashes of the fire, you just hear a voice that says, "Rune, my child, you have done well, but now I need more of you."
Why am I not surprised?
I need you to head north to the village of Port Victor. There you will meet a group. You will know this group when you see them. Join them on their journey. Assist them.
Assist them.
They will have a task, and you will aid them.
Well, I don't have a choice, do I? Okay. Thank you.
Very well. And then the fire completely goes out.
Okay, I guess, well, I've got my plants. I've got my guidance. I guess I'm heading north.
Okay. So you head out and start moving north on whatever kind of path you can kind of find in the area.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow just the one that I'm already on, where Gregon's cabin is.
Perfect. So that is where we will end your one shot.
Excellent.
All right. So thank you for today, and we will see Rune and you when we start our first session of the main campaign, the Isles of Nekkar.
Yay!
Okay, thanks for listening, everybody, and join us next time for someone else's one shot. I don't know who you'll meet, but it'll be somebody exciting. Okay, bye!